Hey, good afternoon, friends. Bill here. Hope you're having a good week, good lead up to Christmas. You get older, it just comes so quick. It all comes so quick, and it's interesting. It's interesting dynamic when you get older. But I love Christmas. I think it's amazing. Again, I want to say, praise God that there's a day in the Western world. Uh, Seems to be at least here where you celebrate the birth of Christ. That's pretty phenomenal that ever got started. It's pretty phenomenal. I'm sure there's lots of negative things that have happened as a result, and people didn't want it, and all this good stuff. But to bring the birth of Christ to the forefront, to have a day off, and to what's really happens that I see is that people they start to think about things. It's like a certain things in life make people think beyond the moment, beyond what they're trying to accomplish. And Christmas is one of those days. Not everybody, of course, and and so forth. And some people, they love Santa Claus, they don't love Jesus and all that stuff. There's myriad of things people say to dismiss the importance of the day. But I can tell you this, after having been preaching for 20 years and just appreciating any and all Christian influences, this is a phenomenal influence. And then, you know, and the way the church calendar works, Easter, another incredible day. It just brings the resurrection to the table, and in a way in a mass way that, in some sense, is potentially unavoidable. So, Christmas, praise God. Hope you have a good one. Hope you get a chance to go to a good church service, have a good Christmas service, sing some good old hymns that sing of Christ and the birth and so forth. That's the amazing part. Just singing those hymns, the old hymns, and seeing the centrality of Christ in the hymns, and um, the wording, the saving wording included is phenomenal. So praise God for Christmas. Hey, having a great start to the week, end of the year. Let's go over the bowl games. This is pretty amazing. Lots of bowl games coming up. I think there's 18, 36, 38 bowl games. And so we're going to show the football games for the week first. Let's see what we got. So Thursday, tomorrow, Mark Renan is preaching at the bowl game in Boca Raton. And then Lord Will and I are John Crowley. John Crowley's bringing a bunch of folks over to Raymond James Stadium on Friday. Saturday, Joshua Telps will be at the Birmingham Bowl. David Day will be at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. And then Rod Grubb will be preaching at the Potato Bowl on Saturday as well in Boise, Idaho. If you know anybody in those areas, please contact the evangelists, refer them. That's part of the reason we post these things, so that you might see who's out there doing what, see what part of the country they're in, hopefully know some people on Facebook or whatnot, and can refer them over there to join these guys to preach the gospel. Everybody here has been at a sports fan event, and so they're just everybody's on the same page, basically theologically and preaching. So it's a great opportunity. Football game this weekend. Let's see what we got there. Rick Garland, we're willing to preach at the LA game tomorrow and Saturday. What does that say? The Rams and the Chargers. Praise God. Coble Sunday. John Coble up at the Tennessee Titans. Doc Sunday, the Minnesota Vikings game. Sterling Long Sunday, Falcons game, and hopefully Mike Andrews at the Panther game, and then Phil Green at the Denver game. Again, you got emails there to contact those guys and send people to them. Really, man, this is why we do this. Partly, apart from just gospel preaching, is to try to help people get out. If you've never heard my sermon on this, so to speak, the thing that people need is they really need someone to go join. Most people don't go evangelize because there is no one there to go with them. And if they've never been before, it's very intimidating. And I think most people do not go because they are intimidated and afraid and don't know what to do. And I wish it wasn't like that, but that's a lot of what it is. And so we certainly want to say, hey, listen, man, you got to help somebody get out. Think of people that you know. post something on Facebook, even if you don't know what's going on in their life. Like, hey, if you're looking to evangelize in these areas, contact these evangelists and go. I mean, here at Sports Fan, we of my life, it's been a huge dependence, and Lord willing, always will be on God working to bring things about. You just don't know where God is working, and too many times, friends, what we do is we outthink it, we overthink it. We say, well, I don't know anybody I can ask to go with me. I don't know anybody that I can ask to give. And we say that like we're supposed to be omniscient, and that's silly. You never know who's doing what, and the people that you think is going to go evangelize with you are the first ones to tell you no and tell you no repeatedly. So that's what I've noticed. So we never know where God is working. And we go out to see where God is working, and we preach the gospel, invite people to go to see where God is working. And if you see it that way, then it's easier to ask, and it's easier to depend upon God to persuade people to go. It's that simple. So, somebody in Los Angeles, or Boca Raton, or Mark Manan, or Phil. Hang on one second. I've got to take care of something. Hang on one second. All right, friends. Anyway, back to referring people. Sorry about that. Um, Trying to get some things printed for the end of the year. Listen, if you know anybody, that's the key. Invite people, invite people, invite people. Post things, post things, post things. That's just that simple, man. At the end of the day, that's the way it works. So that's why it's there. So I want to encourage you to do that. Excuse me a little bit. So, hey, let's talk about the Super Bowl. And we're going to roll back into talking about the college football championship. Super Bowl, February 8 to 11 in Las Vegas. It's going great. I think there's 65 guys registered, about that number. And so that's a good number. That would cover the situation there if you've never been to Las Vegas. First of all, Las Vegas has really wide sidewalks there, and people are on the sidewalks all the time. Las Vegas is a business conference, tourist destination, other things. And so it attracts a lot of people who don't live there, and they have these big sidewalks. And for all those people, and they're typically very busy all day long. So we start right there with a good crowd on the sidewalk. The second thing about Las Vegas is you have this about a mile long stretch of street, maybe a mile and a half where it's really busy. And so the goal here is to put up about six or so teams in these key spots, plus around the stadium where they'll have the NFL experience in that end down by Mandalay Bay. And then and then and then and that's about 7 spots, and that's all it's going to be to it. So we still got room for you to come, and we want you so you come and be a part of the team and spread out in these 7 places. 70 people would be great. I think we got room for 80 there, and so if you've never been though, key here is not that we just get teams in the right spot. The key here is that we actually the key here is that actually hang on one second. We're going to start this thing over.